down, I think he can get away with this type of a build. Like, these heroes are very elusive, and also the hero that we didn't talk too much about is this Timbersaw. Sure, you have like Diffusal Blade Pango, XWY. Thinking about maybe going in, because like you have Shadow Demon. Like, in terms of the heroes that they have against Timbersaw, could be okay, but I'm not sure if it's enough. If he's off to a good start, he can easily pop off.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how the Timber does. I'm taking a look here, and I'm trying to look at some cosmetics. I know you're not a huge fan of the cosmetics, but I will say I'm a little upset. I think since the patch, you can't click on the portrait and see these cosmetics anymore. That button doesn't exist. So like this word over mid that's snowing on top of it, you can't see what,
Why did they remove it? Because the other day I wanted to click on portrait to see like what the items were. I'm like, am I stupid? What is doesn't work?
You could go to showcase mode, but you can't see what the items actually are. And now you just gotta guess, right? A little bit upsetting. Unfortunately, as we now see the bounty runes get distributed, and the distribution process will be 2 apiece. So, is there really a lane here that sticks out to you, a killer lane for either of these teams? Like, I feel like QIQX coming up top here to work with Zhang Yu. Well, it could be very interesting.
It could be. Like, you want to stay away from the experience a bit so the Timber gets that level 2 faster. Right now, you don't see Timber picking up anything yet. Like, whenever these two teams play together, I always get confused by Zhang Yu and Shang-Chi. Like, I have to think for a second, who's on which team?
Zhang Yu on IG and Shang-Chi on Aster.Aries. I got you. I'm always here for your defense. Even yesterday, Hezu, he was like, aren't I the better guy? And I was like, well, I love you guys equally. Okay, gotta protect you both.
Equally, kind of disappointed in the statement right now.
Hey, come on.
And QIQX, he's coming to the bottom lane. This is the solo XP that we talked about. It's level 1 Crystal Maiden. They could go for a kill. There is Blood Grenade available. They know that there's Bash.
They don't have anything, though, from PYW. Like, he can't throw Fire Spirits. He can't really do anything. Yeah, I guess he's got Blood Grenade, but that's about it. What did Zhang Yu? He's 1-0-1, so he got the level 1 of the reactive armor. That's what he's looking to do, get that early Vanguard, because that's something you talk about when you're going up against Medusa, right? After you get Vanguard, yeah, you're probably not going to kill Ulu. You're not going to kill the Medusa. But once you get Vanguard, you're probably not in too much trouble either.
He's level 2.
Frostbite.
They want to get a kill here.
TK, first blood there for PYW. When the charge in from Shang-Chi.
That's another one.
They throw the Blood Grenade, and now they've got the Frostbite again. That's going to be a second kill for PYW, getting both.
You said PYW doesn't have anything, but apparently he does have...
off cooldown now.
He does have a double kill potential in this lane, so they might keep it. How's Pango doing? XWI doing much better than I expected, sitting at 14-3 against 12-2 on Queen of Pain. Emo also bringing Clarity. That's an interesting choice. Let's see how much value he's going to be able to get from Clarity from a mid lane. Let's see if he's going to
pop it and then like what, Shield Crash?
And Shield Crash. We'll take it off.
1. Does he use it immediately? Yeah. All right. And back to 17 mana.
Yeah, not really how you want to use the Clarity, but it is what it is.
And they sent now they sent the Phoenix up top, so PYW with that double kill, he's gonna go to the top lane. I guess there's a chance that you kill Red Panda, but you have to bait out that disruption first. Otherwise, I don't think you get that kill.
Timbersaw's not really anymore to be killed in this lane, I would say, unless he's the one who's playing super aggressive diving underneath the tier 1 tower. So he should be okay. And now PYW, let's see wants to go for that 4-minute water rune.
Coming over. At least to try and deny the top water rune, and that should mean we see Emo head towards bottom. That's exactly what he's doing, so this should be at least the water rune being picked up in some form for the side of IG, but at the same time, now there's the disruption in Red Panda. Well, you've got water rooms for Aster.Aries. They brought both supports over. Keeping that bottle empty, but another clarity now in the backpack of Emo.
Let's see if this one gets canceled immediately. I mean, you're playing into Pango, so most likely it will be. Aster.Aries, even though they've got these 2 kills at the start, they got killed 2 times. Feels like the rotation-wise are doing a good job. I thought that they might get overran in the laning stage, but like not 2-3 minutes in, but maybe like 7 to 10. We'll see how it's gonna go.
Right.
And this is the problem that we talked about with Spirit Breaker. He uses charge, does it immediately, pops Time Walk, and no damage has been dealt. Emo might need to go back to base because no one is low to refill his bottle. No one's gonna die, at least from the supports.
He might just die here. Swashbuckle hitting hard, and 2-1-2. He does have the blink, but doesn't have a lot of regen to work with. And I get the feeling you do want to try and stay as best you can for level 6, but now with no mana and barely any health, it's a walk back with the blink towards base.
It is what it is. You have to tank it. Like you don't want to go back to base as a mid laner 5 minutes into the game. But if he was level 6 there would be a potential rotation on the side lane coming up. But for now, he needs to TP back to the mid lane. Has that clarity again. Emo might have found a new item for himself.
Unfortunately, not like a mango, where it at least gives you something while it sits in your inventory, right?
Well, yeah, it does give you something. It blocks from picking up different items. Could be something different. Takes the slot. Emo, he's jumping in.
XWY, well,
No
Emo,
mana.
he's got level 6, but now he needs the mana to get the Sonic Wave off, and he doesn't have that. But with an Icarus Dive and a Frostbite, they at least get 1 kill. That's on XWY, and TK doesn't have any mana to work with either.
They picked up his rune again. Red Panda holding on to Arcane. Sure, they do kill Pango, but Emo, again, low on mana. He's going to be picking up this Bounty Rune, refill the bottle, get those 2 charges. So at least that's something.
Yeah, I got to get something, and now he's got the Sonic Wave. We'll see if they could maybe stay here. And
He gave
look
him
at
bottle.
QX.
He gave bottle to PYW. Let's see what he decides to do with it.
He's going to go and pick up the Wisdom Rune, I think, and then fill it up.
Yeah.
While QX, he's going to try and steal the other one, and I think he's got the timing on it right.
Yeah, it's
and this
more
will
than
be
fine.
both Wisdom Runes.
Back it up, boys. This one has been lost. Every single time I see this happen, it just feels very awkward. Pro tip for you people out there, if you are a support and you go for these like double runes, you don't want to pick up the first one yourself because someone might like get more XP and then someone else has less XP than you, so you want to wait it out.
Okay.
This is not a team player stuff I'm talking about right now, but if you want to play for
Solo player
yourself,
stuff, right.
yeah.
Thinking about the Rolling Thunder and Icarus Dive with the
that's
Fire
a big
Spirits.
one. But no real follow-up. I think they could have picked up at least a kill on Red Panda there with the Sonic Wave.
I think they're a little bit worried about the disruption dodge for the Sonic Wave, but you could always bait out the disruption by feinting the Sonic Wave, in my opinion. They get both Wisdom Runes, and I didn't know Wisdom Rune. Do you think this should be 3 charges on the bottle for the Wisdom Rune?
Maybe 2, like with Bounty Runes. I usually, like, people who do have bottles don't go for this type of a play anyway, so I think I'm fine with this. This is just a situation. The one that did happen, which was a cute, nice little play. And you can see now Timbersaw already pushed out Medusa out of the lane. Ulu forced to farm the jungle. Timbersaw with the Vanguard 2 points in reactive armor is more than enough to bring this tower down. Disruption on the mid lane. Blink still available. So Emo's going to be more than fine.
I think this game's going really well for IG at the moment.
Yeah, Aster.Aries, this is the problem that we thought it's going to happen. Not being able to get stuff done, not able to set things up. XWY needs to be that guy. With the shield crash, with Rolling Thunder, pops that invis, and let's see if they manage to get something out of this big rune that he picked up.
So, invis rune picked up for him. QIQX on the run. He's by the outpost. Shield crash on top of the Crystal Maiden. And eventually will die here, but it ends up being the Red Panda. So, gold there for the Shadow Demon, and a little bit as the 83-1 hero for the Pangolier.
Medusa still on top of the net worth. It's just how much she's going to be able to do in the game.
Yeah. And they're kind of going in on this, but they've got Emo off to the side. So XWY gets hit with the Shadow Strike. Jang Yu is in. Chrono on the 2. That's pretty solid. Yeah, Chakram, Sonic Wave, double kill there for Emo. Ooh, now on the run. And he doesn't have Stone Gaze, so a Shadow Strike and some mana, and maybe Ulu gets run down, but nobody right there with the Queen of Pain, so they'll let the Medusa leave.
I like these aggressive safe laners that tend to go for these type of a plays. I think we're going to see this much more often, where your position 1 comes through the Twin Gates, they secure the tower, play with the Catapult, and have this big team fight presence. Nicely placed Chrono there from Dust, which is a setup for Sonic Wave. So Emo gets the double kill. Still doesn't reveal the item that he wants to go for, whether that wants to be just like casual Kaya for now, or if he wants to go into Witchblade to have a bit more kill. Queen of Pain, a hero that does consume a lot of mana, so this 1 point in Arcane Aura does help her a lot, and now they're going to be farming some stacks that PYW made.
Look at that juicy experience for PYW. Juicy gold for Emo. By the way, this is a Diffusal first item for Dust on the Void, and now he's going into the Yasha. I don't hate it.
It's a good one. Playing against Medusa gives you more kill threat as well. If you're not the one who's charged, I think you might also, like in this game, you don't need a BKB. It's very safe to say you can go for, I would say, Manta. You can get Lincoln's Scotty. I think Lincoln's is an okay because you are playing into Spirit Breaker, Shadow Demon, no Demonic Purge, no disruption on you. So you can get away with being greedy in this game. I think Dust already understands that. Has that Diffusal Blade picked up, needs to use the Courier and going into Yasha next.
Do you think this game is Disperser worthy for Faceless Void?
Yeah, later down the line, sure. But there are other items to be picked up.
That was going to be my follow-up question. Like, what's the importance of that upgrade? Is it just like, okay, I've got everything, now Disperser? Or is it ever worth getting where, you know, you kind of want a little bit more from that?
Well, looking at the stuff that he can dispel, there is, like Shadow Demon, Shadow Poison has not been dispellable for a long time. Neither has Demonic Purge. So, Lucky Shot, I think it's the big one.
Rolling Thunder and a charge coming into the Crystal Maiden. They do have Zhang Yu right here. QIQX surviving for a long time, but eventually falls when Shang-Chi comes in with that charge. TK looking like he might fall. Icarus dive. Chrono used on...
No one, feels like.
No one, yeah. That was Chrono used on no one. They get the kill into TK. They're looking for a bash on Red Panda. Zhang Yu's right here. They've got the Chakram. They'll get themselves a second kill, but they end up losing QIQX.
Huh? No one making an appearance in Chinese DPC. I thought he was playing for Old G, but there he is. Chrono did land on him. XWY is not going to be in trouble. This Diffusal Blade. Not sure who he was going for. Maybe Ulu, who was TPing out or something. Didn't see that one. So I was looking at the Crystal Maiden.
I might need a replay. Yeah.
And then I saw Chrono, nothing inside of it.
Yeah, I took a look. I was like, nothing's there. There we go. Let's see. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Who's up there? Nobody's up there. PYW's there. Maybe Shang-Chi?
Yeah, Medusa wasn't even in that fight.
Oh, Shang-Chi's TPing out there. And then the Chrono just comes late. And then Shang-Chi makes it back to base with the TP. Okay.
And Dust hits him with the sorry. You have to say sorry. if you fail like that. Otherwise, you might tilt your allies. But still, in the end, good trade for IG.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it's 2 kills. I think the mental damage might have made that trade even.
You used the bad chrono 14 minutes into the game better than if you used it, let's say, 35, 40 minutes. If you don't hit anybody with it, then that's going to be a huge issue.
Not as much of emotional damage. I will say what's pretty cool here, just to go on a different note and say things that are cool. Emo going first item Ags. That Shadow Strike upgrade.
He thinks he can get away with it, which I think it's fine in this one. He's in a good spot to actually go for it. This is like level 2 Shadow Strike we're talking about, but let's see if they can find something here. XWY, still no Diffusal Blade 15 minutes into the game. This is the problem that we've seen him struggle when he played for the main Aster team, when he couldn't really deliver between like 10 and 20 minute mark. He was always like the bottom net worth, second on from the bottom. It felt really awkward. Like, I think some of the best performances that he had were on Tiny when he needed to be explosive. But right now, not finding any openings. I mean, in this game, you need to be the one who's carrying the team. Hulu is farming a lot. Manta Style has already been done.
But is it enough? Like, the heroes here for IG aren't exactly too far behind.
Yeah, I would say, like, Medusa can take over the games, but in this one, you are playing into some of the counters. And also, they don't need to kill Medusa. They can kill 2 supports, kite, wait until the Stone Gaze is down, and then take another fight, reset with their abilities.
Looking to get a kill here on TK, charge on QIQX. I don't know if that's exactly the move you want to make. And I would assume probably, maybe that charge doesn't get stopped. He doesn't have a lot of health, but coming into a situation like this, that could be a bit of an issue. Wing forward to follow, but he's already got that Shadow Blade on the Spirit Breaker, and they don't have vision to spot him.
They need to try to go for these like pickoffs. Bango plus Spirit Breaker do feel strong right now. You could get a kill, especially on the supports. Oh no, the tickles on Timbersaw from those illusions from Medusa. And looking at the itemization, BYW does have Yule Scepter available, so he can set things up with it. And also great against Spirit Breaker. The spell
TK
shield crash as well. He's going to die here. And going into Heaven's Halberd next, I like these choice from PYW. You know that you're playing into Spirit Breaker, mostly Medusa, so you're going to tank up. They're going to take tier 1 tower on the mid lane.
TK not having a fun game at the moment on this Enchantress.
Not an easy game by any means. You are playing into Crystal Maiden, Phoenix, Timbersaw, Quap. Everybody has a ton of magical burst damage.
So we'll see how that ends up going. But you're looking over here at Shanxi, who's on the run, charging, and Chrono. So this time he catches something, and in his net is this Spirit Breaker. So Dust getting a kill there, and this time the Chrono is not wasted.
I'm sure it's a kill on core Spirit Breaker, and it feels like IG, they don't have a better objective to go for anyway, so he's going to be using that Chrono to just grab a kill. Keep up, or at least try to keep up with Medusa's farm. And now Medusa picked up the Fusel Blade. We've seen this a couple of times. I feel like it's a good way of just putting more pressure with the hero. It's a cheap item.
I don't know.
You burn mine. You want to burn my mana? I'll burn your mana as well.
Yeah. A lot of times, though, we usually see like Manta Straight Butterfly, but Manta Diffusal Butterfly now pushing that back. And I wonder if pushing back that Butterfly might make this a very viable game now, especially for IG to take fights and go after this Medusa.
If you were building Butterfly, it would just straight up be against Faceless Void. Everybody else, again, has huge amount of magical damage, so Butterfly not really the most valuable item to go for straight away. It's a good damage, don't get me wrong, good farming item overall. Let's see if they can find anything now.
Coming over. And they've got themselves a disruption on the QIQX. Freezing Field was used. and putting out some decent damage, but nobody else is there.
They have very limited amount of stuns. Spirit Breaker, if he was not there, Disruption was used offensively. So Crystal Maiden finds an opportunity, uses ulti, tries to buy a little bit more time, which is fine. Like, she bought good 5-6 seconds, which means less farm. Let's see if they are going to contest Roshan with this freshly bought Diffusal Blade on Medusa, which is going to be in the bottom lane in a minute or so.
Sonic Wave defensively.
He's out of mana
Strike.
completely.
Queen of Pain has no mana, and, well, Emo's going to die. Rolling Thunder used afterwards. But that Sonic Wave was a defensive try that really didn't do anything.
He tried to push the Spirit Breaker away from him, but did not connect. This was the target that it needed to hit. Now he's going into Lincoln Sphere. Wants to protect himself.
What do you do now if you're IG? I want to say that was a pretty momentum-stopping death there by the Queen of Pain.
And looking at what Red Panda is doing with Shadow Demon, he is creating illusions of Medusa, trying to push an extra wave. So maybe they go for this Roshan play. It's being pinged out right now by Dust that Roshan's coming down. It seems like Aster.Aries, they don't still feel too comfortable just rushing in, fighting into Phoenix plus Chronosphere. So might want to wait it out.
Very dangerous fight to take, for sure.
Yeah, I could also see IG potentially taking it. Timbersaw is super tanky. He can be the one actually tanking all the damage. And again, DK getting caught.
Yeah, Frostbite, Sunray, Chakram, kill, and that's another easy one there for the side of IG. XWY, he's staying nearby, but they've got the charge. They're going to have to lock him down completely. Nether Strike, Rolling Thunder, maybe they've done so, and they have. So Dust dies, and now you no longer have the Void. That means no Chronosphere for 40 seconds. Ooh is chasing. He's got that Diffusal, so he'll inhibit the Crystal Maiden, and they get themselves a second kill on QIQX. Zhang Yu is going to go into the trees over by the Roche pit, maybe looking to stay stationary as they potentially go for Roche.
And there's Roshan definitely on the menu for Aster.Aries after getting these 2 kills. But it's not going to be the quickest of Roshans. Roshan is much stronger right now. Love the Diffusal Blade pickup on Ulu. Having another way, because you have one on Pango, one on Medusa, with Manta Style as well. Timbersaw, pretty much no one likes to play into mana burn, but like you've seen Queen of Pain, she loses all of her mana pools almost instantly.
This is not a fast Roche, and they're not even going to be able to take it in time. That's a 4-man smoke from IG, but if you lose another fight like that, that is then Roche, and then your advantage is kind of gone. Medusa starts to break away. So to me, it kind of does feel like IG, they need to take this next fight, or I could see this game slipping very quickly.
Timbersaw's massive. Like, we didn't talk too much about Timbersaw because he's not like the flashiest hero when it comes down to laning stage. He farmed up. He has Kaya Sanj, Vanguard, Casual Plate Mail, and Gossamer Cape, which does give him like even more tankiness. So now IG, they want to be the ones starting this Roche. Again, it's not the quickest one on their side. PYW, however, is level 12, which means 8 attacks to kill Supernova. They're not going to be there in time.
Yeah, they're not going to make it in time. Whether or not they're going to fight is the question. They'll send some illusions in, and they are sticking close, but going for this just does not seem like a well-advised play. I think that's pretty important there for IG to get it, but now they're going to look potentially for Dust. No, they'll stop the charge. All right. I was going to say, do they want to go for this again, where they go for the charge, they go to the Nether Strike, and then they find themselves looking to get a kill with the Rolling Thunder?
They managed to lock him down in the previous fight, which was really nicely executed. And now they are going through the gates. At least Emo is. Emo going for Octarine Core. He's memeing it up with the item build.
I don't know if you really can meme with this important of a matchup for you, but go for it, Emo. Sure.
I love Memo. Whenever he, does does something cool.
I liked that one.
We'll see if it pays off in the end. I'm not sure if he wants to commit to it. Like, sure, you like lower the cooldowns, it makes you slightly tankier, but I feel like a lot of co-op players would definitely choose different item build.
Yeah.
Especially in this matchup. But he thinks he can work out with this item build. Was thinking about Lincoln Sphere, which I think is a good choice because then you can't be charged by a Spirit Breaker. Again, very limited amount of stuns on their side. Olu still having a blast of a game. 14,000 net worth. Butterfly completed. Going into Pike next.
No big fights coming out yet, though. Things staying very quiet overall. Only 17 kills here, 24 minutes into the game, and our last kill was the Void. But other than that, I think things have been quite quiet.
Very slow game overall. Dust holding on to that Aegis. Emo really likes to go through these portals.
Time Walk looking for TK, and there's the disruption and the blink back. Rolling Thunder was used top as well at the same time. And they're going to go. They'll find themselves QIQX for a second, but now he's starting to run because XWI's attention came off and maybe looking for a different hero. Frostbite, Freezing Field, charge through on a QIQX. That should be a kill on the Crystal Maiden and will be. Ulu gets credit for that.
Emo went through the portal like 4 times in the last minute or so.
Though, might be in trouble, so
Shang
they're going to
Yu,
try and
very
chase.
low in mana.
What can they do here to try and defend this? They'll go to the Stone Gaze. Now they'll charge. It's through onto this Faceless Void. And he's been disarmed, and they'll just disengage.
Dust hasn't really gained much gold in the last couple of minutes. I think it comes down to Emo, who was also like farming at the closer spots to him. Shang-Chi, he's getting the farm on Spirit Breaker as well. This hero is pretty nuts when it comes down how good he scales with the items.
It ended up being Bloodstone, by the way, for the Quab.
Okay.
Just gonna take a quick look here at the Queen of Pain and just check some maybe some rank levels. 1400 for Emo. Okay.
Rank check. Do a quick one.
Rank check. Only kidding, Emo. I love you, dude.
Spell Lifesteal with Bloodstone, with Aghanim Scepter, where you're like getting a lot of HP back, makes him tanky. I guess that's the thing about it.
Ooh. Frostbite, they found this Medusa, but there's the disruption. They're going to try and get the kill here on Ulu, and with no mana, Ulu's in trouble, but goes to the Stone Gate, starting to run away. They go to the Supernova as well as the Manta. That'll pop, but it won't hit onto the Medusa. The chase is on, but with no lockdown left for IG, they have to leave Ulu to just go onto the high ground. Yule's up into the air on TK. There's the charge. It's on the Faceless Void. He's in some trouble. The Mystic Snake, they'll take the Aegis. They've got themselves another strike onto the Phoenix. They get at least PYW while losing TK. Shang Yu standing on the front lines, though, with not a lot of mana to go. XWI swashbuckling, and they've got the disarm out of the Faceless Void. They will disrupt him as well. So a little bit of time without this Faceless Void, who will try to time walk away. They go to the charge, but the Frostbite lands on a Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi will end up falling here to the right click of Dust, and the Sonic Wave doesn't really do damage because the Spirit Breaker was already dead.
Yeah, all these heroes are very low on mana, as you can see in the fight. Like, Emo has 0 mana. There was 4,000 damage dealt by Medusa. These illusions, like you make illusion of Medusa, you save her inside a Chronosphere, she gets the Manta off, then you have 4 illusions hitting you, burning your mana, Pango with a couple of swashbuckles. It wasn't enough. Like, sure, you get a TK one more time, but Spirit Breaker with a nice charge, and this time XWY Rolling Thunder connects on multiple targets. Ulu is also getting saved by Red Panda in most of these fights. He does have Blink Dagger available, so he can keep the distance, and also does have that shard picked up, so we'll have Demonic Cleanse. Sonic Wave, let's go. Already dead. Emo waiting until the last second to pop it.
Hell yeah.
Not the easiest game for IG anymore, because Pango's getting the items. He does have Aghanim Scepter available. And Spirit Breaker also getting the items. Once he gets to his, like, Aghanim Scepter, Yasha, Kaya, it's going to be nuts what this hero can do. For now, going to go for Tormentor, it seems.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams have kind of been overlooking this Tormentor at times. But about 30 minutes into the game, there is the shard for PYW, and I like that shard. Sunray during Supernova, always nice.
Also having a bit of extra slow. Could make a difference. I mean, the one on Crystal Maiden is also really good. Both supports having a fun time. PK did receive shard. Not the best of the shards, I would say. Cool name. Little Friends. Reminds me of Happy Tree Friends.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good show.
It was. Not if you're like age 7 to 12.
When I was watching it.
Yeah, when I was watching that, it was still funny, but it can take you in a different direction.
They need a Happy Tree Friends announcer pack. You know, your bottom tower is going down. And they're just, doing their typical thing. Looks like this is going to be a wraparound from IG.
All the green lights are available, Chrono. Let's see, he needs a big one. Now does have a Lancaster, which is going to make him tank.
They're just going to TP out, right? No, they're actually going to fight this. They've got the ward on the high ground, so this should be a fight for them, and that's exactly what they're going to go to. They've got the Chakram, they'll go to the Time Walk, they've got the Chrono, it's going to land on the Medusa, but the disruption is there immediately. So, well, disruption used. Chakram still on top. They go to the Stone Gaze. They're going to strike out of the Faceless Void. They'll get the kill on a Dust, and he's going to be taken out first. No Faceless Void for 50 seconds. Red Panda trying to TP away, but with the Whirling Death and the Blink coming through from Emo, he'll at least get that, but he falls now to Shang-Chi. So, the side of Aster.Aries, they get 2 big kills here, and it looks like IG, well, they've lost that fight, and it is not good for them.
I mean, 2 times in a row, they go instantly on Medusa. Again, not enough damage, and Red Panda, he's been on the money with his Blink disruption saves inside of Chronos.
Freezing Field. Ooh. Kill there on a Shang-Chi real quick from Zhang Yu. Timber Chain does not connect, and is just going to run down QX. That's just unfortunate. Unable to walk away from a Medusa Icarus dive, but that just puts you further away. And, well, they've got themselves the kill onto XWY. They don't actually end up losing PYW, and I believe he was able to Icarus dive and go into a Yules to avoid that impetus that was coming his way. And now Ulu, with not a lot of mana to work with, they've got Dust following it up. The Bash is coming in, no mana and not a lot of health to work with. That's a kill there for IG, who have kind of salvaged what just happened in the last few minutes.
Aster.Aries did it to themselves pretty much. It feels like IG plays better when they don't have ultis available. They just managed to kill 4 heroes on side of Aster.Aries without using the Chronos here. He needs to be much more patient with this Chrono. Still not tanky enough to survive. But second Roshan on Radiant side again. Oh man, this build from Emo is really not working out. Like in the previous fight, doesn't even get the Bloodstone off. It's straight up like raw HPs. This is like 500 HP. And in terms of lifesteal back, he didn't really get much. It feels like it's a wasted item, like it's a wasted slot. If he has like Kaya Sanj, where it does gives him like more damage, gives him more tankiness, status resistance as well. But we'll see how it ends up in the end with this item build. We might get the chance to talk to some of his teammates or himself to see what this build was for.
If you could say one thing to Emo in game 1, what would it be? Don't build Bloodstone.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling it. We'll see. Don't want to pick too much on it because it's already in his inventory, so you can't remove it. I mean, you can for half of the money back, but not what you want to do.
Half back's better than no back. But yeah, you really don't want to be doing that. Taking a look at the item board across here. XWY, of course, has that Ags. We've got Shard and Red Panda as well as TK. And PYW on the side of IG has his. Working with that big bad fillet. We're not really seeing Spark of Courage as much.
Oh, because we are seeing tier 3 items right now. That's why no one wants to keep it. I feel like Spark of Courage has been kept over most of tier 2 items anyway.
Well, looking at the list, nobody got Spark of Courage, which is a bit surprising.
We're into tier 3 items, so people want to get higher tier items for sure. Except for Emo, he's the one holding on to Faded Brooch and Co-op. I'm sure there's a better item.
I would agree.
Again, it's just mana, some movement speed. Could have paid not the hero that relies on having the most movement speed in a fight. Doesn't really matter for her. And also mana pool's pretty big, 2.4k already.
They do have a tier 2 and a tier 3 token available for Queen of Pain.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So just not electing to take it at all.
Okay, now the build's starting to make more sense what Emo's going for. I see full Mjolnir, some procs against this butterfly, and also the chains plus Bloodstone. That's like, it feels like he's playing to be 6 slotted in this game. Disruption on Medusa. There's going to be 4 illusions.
Yeah, illusions of illusions. Just trying to handle those is, interestingly enough, Zhang Yu goes and uses that Shiva's in the back line. Pick up a Wisdom Rune, and they're controlling that experience gain that Aster.Aries is just not getting at the moment with the past few Wisdom Runes. And they've cleaned it up where they should be able to get themselves a tier 2 tower. But again, here come the quadruple illusions of the Medusa. Very
a lot
annoying.
of damage. Look at Emo's HP. Same goes
Look
for
at
Dust, down
Dust's
to half HP already.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That seems to be working. I don't know if IG can withstand that constantly.
In terms of tower damage, IG doesn't have the most tower damage. Like, there's no like Beastmaster, Leshrac or anything. So they need to take a fight before they can slowly siege. Especially, like, they can't even take tier 2 towers. Imagine going for the high ground, try to siege tier 3 towers before taking a fight. So we might be here for a long time.
This could, yeah, slow it down to be a long one for sure. Refresher almost finished for Phoenix. Needs 500 gold. That'll be nice to have. While overwhelming Blink and Heart for Timbersaw.
Wants to be as tanky as possible. And now they want to take a fight. DK will go through the Twin Gates, connect with the rest of the team.
So let's see how this fight goes. Dust
Again,
immediately
on
getting that
Medusa.
chrono onto the Medusa. And there's just that disruption that comes out to follow it up. So, now on the run, the charge lands. It's on to Dust here. Look at the right-click damage. Dust needs to get away, but he ends up losing that Aegis. So the Stone Gaze is going to be down. They don't have the chrono to work with. There's the blink from Zhang Yu to take out TK. So they at least get themselves the Enchantress. They're going to buy back there and buy back on the Bandolier. XWY will be back into the fight with the Rolling Thunder. They go to the charge. It hits onto Emo. Emo bump into the air. Roll up, trying to get him, but they're able to get the escape on Emo. He'll eat the cheese, back to full health, full mana. QIQX drops on the Crystal Maiden. They go to the disruption on Uwa once again. They've got these illusions, and now they're on the retreat on the side of IG, but maybe they turn this
With
if
Refresher
they
on
find
Phoenix,
the right
maybe.
opening. Yeah, Phoenix with the Refresher. XWY down to about half health. Zhang Yu over to the side with the Swashbuckle coming in, and that's with a Diffusal. But he's still working with about half mana, and both these teams will disengage for the time being.
Ooh, this is some heavy commitment from Aster.Aries. They used buyback on XWY, sorry, but there are no objectives to be taken. There's no Roshan because they just use Aegis on Dust. A bit of an awkward fight. Like, you can see the big difference between the rest of the team. Medusa does pretty much all the work in that fight, 7,000 damage. Rest of the team, damage output is very low.
Not that amazing. They need to really work with this chrono a little bit better, right?
This is third time in a row that he uses Chrono on Medusa. At one point, you got to stop. It's just not working out. Well, how you want to start this fight is Timbersaw can provide you with vision. You have this Hex, Blink Hex initiation, Shiva's Guard as well. Have some vision, kill these two supports. Like, you want to be looking out for Shadow Demon, but Red Panda has been doing a really good job keeping the distance, finding a spot where he's not going to be initiated on. And there's the jump that I talked about.
Yeah, ooh, a little bit of a stun there coming through. Nether Strike going after this Timbersaw. But the Icarus side, the Sonic Wave, oh baby! The damage, they finally get the kill on a Zhang Yu, but they'll end up losing Red Panda as well, Shang-Chi. So 2 heroes then to the side of Aster.Aries, who do have buyback. And immediately the withdrawal coming in from Aster.Aries.
This is a nice fight. They could have maybe even killed XWY in that fight, but he was so close to dying. These are the type of fights that IG needs to take, because if they're gonna be using Chronos, every single time they don't have Chrono, they just seem to be winning the fights. Whenever they use Chrono, they don't.
So no Chrono good, Chrono up bad.
Yeah. pretty much it sums it up. Next Roshan could be potentially up in a minute.
So let's see. We'll get this Aegis. Where they'll end up going for this fight. There's the Mjolnir for Emo. Was that Spell Prism for PYW? Yes, it was. So, Mjolnir. It's double damage in the bottle. Do you think IG will look to fight with the Chrono up before the potential Roche time? Maybe smoke up and find the proper opening?
Don't fight with the Chrono. We already said that.
Yeah.
Just go
Chrono
for something different.
I might as well just use it now, right? On nothing.
Use it on Emo while he's channeling Outpost. Stop it from happening. No, they need to do the same thing. Again, with Timbersaw, blink in, use this Shiva's Guard. And Emo has tier 4 token, didn't even use it. Okay, finally find something. That's Timeless Relic. Here we go.
I was going to say, he didn't use 2, 3, or 4. So, smokes will meet, and they're going to try and go in. They go to the blink. It's going to be with the Shiva's coming out here from Zhang Yu. Double damage is going to be popped by this Queen of Pain. They go to the Chrono. It's going to be out of the Shadow Demon. That means there's no disruption. They get the kill to XWY as well as Red Panda. XWY bought back in the previous fight. They've got the Bashes, the Stone Gaze. It's going to be enough to keep the Medusa alive with the charge coming through all the way on the Phoenix. They've got the Yules. Time walk forward. They have the root. They'll go for the kill. It's on Ulu. No mana, no life, no health. And they get themselves at least a 4th. They bought back on the Shadow Demon, but there was no disruption to save them Ulu. And they're still trying to chase. They're still trying to go here for Red Panda, as he goes up onto the high ground near the Tormentor. And instead, IG, guys, there is a tier 2 tower, and you guys are in the tier 3s. They'll find Red Panda. Disruption, well, Red Panda able to blink away. Can he get back to the base? They have the Hex, and he's on the run. And eventually, Red Panda, he'll get dusted, and he'll fall.
That was very close. Red Panda bought a lot of time, but yes, you see the difference. Again, they understand the importance of Zhang Yu blinking in with Shiva's, providing vision, and finally Dust lands the Chrono on Shadow Demon, +1 extra with the Phoenix Sun Ray. They popped the Refresher, didn't use second Supernova, and now the fight seemed very, very difficult. There's still XP rune to be picked up on the enemy side. They could go for Tormentor. Roshan gonna be spawning in a minute. A lot of objectives to take for IG.
So, taking a look at the replay, you'll see the smokes break, and every time it's just Zhang Yu with the blink jumping onto this backline and looking to get some heroes with the Shivas and the immediate damage of the Whirling Death Chakram. And he's been doing a good job at doing so. And as the fight goes longer and longer, charge comes in, but they have found themselves Ulu even without the Chrono. Again, the fight's going right, and Emo's dominating at that point.
Oh, this could be a solo kill.
Yule.
Disarms.
Supernova. Yeah.
He's fine.
He'll survive.
Yeah, could have tried to pop.
And
just
the charge short spot.
And Spirit Breaker, he's out of the trouble. Does sit on a lot of gold. Shang-Chi, 4.5k can buy out complete Aghanim Scepter.
The Ags usually seems pretty worth it.
I think you need to invest all of your gold. I don't think you can wait to just have buyback.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe he wants to keep it for Roche, because Roshan is going to be, again, on the Radiant side. This is third Roche, Aghanim Scepter, also available, so they might think that they could potentially snatch it.
It'll be tough. That's a very tough call to make, but they're going to certainly try. Roche going towards top and back to his base. All right. Never mind. I didn't feel like going there anyway. And he'll walk out after getting attacked a little bit.
Fire Spirits to pull him out of the pit. So the enemy can't do it.
Roche is
Provide
just
some
misunderstood,
vision.
man. He just wants people out, away from his lawn. That's pretty much it. People come over, he chases them away. Get off my lawn, you kids.
He's an introvert, does not want to get bothered by all these people. They drain his energy. I can see Scan being used by Dire. They're potentially looking out for Zhang Yu. Shang-Chi getting caught, but that status resistance kicking in. He is alone.
Instant Hex getting taken off, and they've got the stun. They'll get the disarm. Lincoln's popped, Rolling Thunder, now finding QIQX.
Well,
Where is he? He's off the map. Where is he? All right, that works. Charge comes in. They get the count of QIQX, and now they look over as Shang-Chi's in the back lines. Overwhelming blink. Chrono on a 3. Shadow Demon needs to help out. He needs to get that disruption. There's not much he can do though with TK dying, already. And that's going to be with the BKB out of mana and out of time. It's Red Panda, both gone, and it's 4 heroes down on the side of Aster.Aries.
Emo still chasing. Do they have a stun?
They want XWI on disc, and GG is called.
Okay.
IG will take game number 1 over Aster.Aries.
IG had a couple of really bad fights where they initiated with the Chronosphere 3 times in a row. It took them, a lot of time to figure it out that